So, off-stream testing, I have been working on Kolaghan's Command and Kozilek's Command, sorry, and non-Eldrazi decks. Working on some control shells, still hoping some of those can come out someday. But the best shell I found is this mono black build. I started off as coffers, but with Urborg and coffers, you just have too many lands that don't tap for colorless. But Kozilek's Command is insanely broken. Card is really, really ridiculous. Like, what the hell are they thinking? And splashing for this card is probably something you should consider doing. Not many decks are going to be able to consider this, but I kind of built this build with this in mind, and I have started off 3-0 in my first league. We're still in that league, and we're going to finish this league on stream in between rounds. Deck has been seeming very good. The combination of the Field of Ruin effects, tons of main deck graveyard hate, Kozilek's Command has been insane. It's also a Kindred type for Nethergoyf, so it grows your Nethergoyf. The deck's just been like really mean, and clean. Sunken Citadel. There's not really much room for Sunken Citadels, I think. That land doesn't tap for colorless, and we have if near Deadlands. Funny enough, it of course would activate the Deadlands, would activate the fields, but I think you just don't want to play the card in this build. Despite me being, of course, a big Sunken Citadel fan. Spike, I think insert card name here would be broken the deck Thoughtseize. Thank you asked. So like I think I had a similar train of thought too, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna play a mono green Eldrazi Temple Kozilek's Command deck, I think I just have too many mono green Eldrazi decks. You know what I mean? I would need to like kind of be sold on. I need to be kind of sold on that kind of build. Okay, we have been beating Eldrazi a lot today. I guess the new memo is Eldrazi is the Underworld Breach deck of this week or something. Been trying really hard to make an Absent version of deck work with Overlord Felia. Do you think the juice is worth the squeeze? I have been thinking about Felia some, but I don't know. I think it's kind of an interesting thought. If you think I think I would ask you to kind of decide for yourself if you think that is a good direction to go down, and if it is, you just kind of have to start playtesting. I can't really tell you without playtesting myself or whatever. How's the Breach matchup with Greenwood Ritual? I think that it's good. You have Ranger Captain to like sack against Breach. You have Orm's Chant, Thraben Charm, Endurance is all like really premium cards against them. You have Answers to Saga. You have Haywire Might. I think it should be pretty good. I don't think I've played it much. So if they just play Karn, should be able to kill it with the by growing the Goyf with K command. So I think we'll just cast this. Is there a way to directly qualify the Pro Tour through Magic Online? Yes. Directly yes, in the sense that you can just play Magic Online. No, in the sense that you can't just wake up on any given day and play an Pro Tour qualifier and then boom, you're there. It's a you have to go through I think 3 rounds. But I guess only 2 rounds. So you have to either top 8 a showcase challenge to get invited to the Pro Tour qualifier events, or you can 5-0 a last chance qualifier for these events. And then the Pro Tour qualifier events for these are for each format every like 3-ish months. If you top 8 those showcase challenges, 5-0 last chance, then you get to play in a like 32 person Pro Tour qualifier where first place gets the invite. Orange Rue with the 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. This is what I get for trying to cast spells. Yeah, don't try doing that again. Okay, they get Tormod script, which is kind of bad for me. I guess what we'll do is field the Woodland so that we force the Crypt activation, and then we can Cling to Dust to put the card to 1. What is the logic of K command in mono black? Kozilek's command is broken. This card is stupidly designed, stupid good. What the fuck were they thinking? These are the thoughts I have when I register Kozilek's command. Kozilek's command is so good, in fact, that I'm pretty interested in playing it in non-Eldrazi shells, because like just doing like the really fair things it does is super good outside of it. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of dedicating some time figuring out, like, how good is it in these kind of shells? how does the mana work. But we 5-0'd our first league with it. But yeah, the logic is Kozilek's command is busted and it plays well in these kind of archetypes. And you just have to play some colorless lands, but Modern has good enough fixing that you can do it. Remember when Twin was banned for 10 years? Now it's unplayable. I do. Yeah, me too. I will say, the Twin decks are probably pretty good against these Eldrazi decks. Something to think about. So they probably get a Field of Ruin for no more basics at this point too. It also plays well with Nethergoyf because it's a kindred. One league with Unbound Flourishing. This chat is cooking 4xk return value. I mean, K command, but yeah, we've talked about Kozilek's command Unbound Flourishing a few times. The other X spell you can play is Portent of Calamity. So like, it's nice that there's a second kind of playable X spell for this shell. The problem I have with this idea, okay, I think I'm gonna Bauble myself on their turn so I can like scry with the fields if I want to. Okay, so the problem I have with this idea is Kozilek's command is always absurdly good. If you draw it early, it's like your win percentage as Eldrazi goes way, way up. If you can cast it on turn 2, turn 3, your win percentage is like so much higher than games where you don't do that. Like Kozilek's command is like very broken as is. You don't need Unbound Flourishing to make Kozilek's command like a game-winning card. Like, just drawing it already is a game-winning thing. So, to pair it with Unbound Flourishing, a card that is just kind of like, sometimes you play it, it just dies and then does nothing. Sometimes you play it and then you die, and sometimes you play it and you don't play Kozilek's command. I'm not super optimistic about this. So, if there was ever another X spell printed with K command's value, I would be more interested in this. I hope that never happens, but we'll see. What's my favorite deck you ever played, whether a brew that you never fully made it or anything else? My favorite deck ever is Sultai Uro Gifts Ungiven. There was a lot of fun where you like gifts for like Uro plus Mystic Sanctuary plus a fetch land, or Life from the Loam for a fetch land, or Life from the Loam for a Mystic Sanctuary. I guess not, never plus a fetch land. But there's a lot going on. You could get like Time Warp, you could get Hour of Promise, you could get Damnation off of your Mystic Sanctuary. It was sick time. Okay, so I do probably want to shuffle that away. Maybe they get a Ensnaring Bridge. Wilderness Wreck, Kozilek's command coming. We actually have played that. It didn't do well, but we have done it. Does seem like the lab is like colorless. Cutting them off colorless is more important than cutting them off blue. Oh, also Pride K command does sound kind of sick. So these Goyfs are not going to be able to attack with the bridge through the bridge super easy. Although I could use Cling to Dust to like shrink the board. Or shrink the Goyfs and then like maybe regrow them. Either way, I think we should just cast Bowmaster this turn. Would it not be more correct to exile the Torment Script so Karn can't grab it? Yeah, maybe. Maybe Talisman was better then. Makes sense. I'm gonna wait to turn on this Cling to Dust, I guess. Oh, sorry. Bowmaster could attack. It's just saving the brain power for the the modern qualifier, of course. Very important that we save my already very limited mental energy. Still have 4 Kozilek's commands in our deck too. How are we beating Bridge? Well, my plan is to field them so much that they have to keep like a big Eldrazi stuck in their hand that we can keep attacking with our low creatures. Draw Kozilek's command and field the Eldrazi Temples, stack our deck with like Bowmasters and Graveyard Trespassers with little pings and stuff. All right, there's a Misty, a Sprawl, or a World Breaker they have access to here. They choose the Misty. So this is K return. I can push my own Bowmasters to save my Goyfs. Now we can exile the K return. Too bad World Breaker is not a ETB trigger. Have I tried Felia in my green-white build? I have. I don't love it. I think that Felia is just kind of a medium card, but she did get better now that there aren't like 2/1 first striking amped raptors to worry about so much. So could definitely see wanting to test Felia again. I don't know how correct she'll ever be. It's not really doing that much because of the bridge. At some point, exile your own graveyard to attack. Yeah, we did that already once, but that seems like a plan we could do. Not the best Emrakul I've ever seen. So they adapt the Emperor, so I can't employ its services going forward. Should probably cast the Trespasser. Okay. Still have 4K commands in our deck. Somewhere out there. My Cling to Dust is exiled, so I guess I do just start exiling my own yard so I can attack with Goyfs. They draw a land, so my plan of like fielding them off of castable spells seems to be kind of difficult at this point. Why do they play land? I don't know. The dogs are playing hard. So they rumble over Devourer of Destiny. And that's obviously what they're going to grab here. I don't know. I guess they target the Emperor, probably. I think I saved these Bowmasters in my hand because they have blockers, and we can like maybe they'll like draw a null drifter at some point. Oh, okay. They did not read this card. That's good news. I don't think they can win. Well, if they find a Karn, Karn is going to be a little tricky. We are now 30 cards deep without drawing a Kozilek's command. I guess so are they. All right, they read this card now. Did they have a card in the last rumble? No, I opened the exile zone instead of the revealed zone. They rumbled into Devour, not card. Rich domains can be so annoying. I feel like I like games like this. I know they are not for everybody. Yeah, we're also up like 10 minutes on the clock, which is not so bad. It's not quite 10. Oh, they're leaving a card in their hand. Not that we can really attack anyways. 2 more damage coming in. We have played against 3 Eldrazi decks so far in the qualifier. Great fun. Two and one. We could have. I think the match we lost, we could have played better to win game 2. Don't know if game 3 was like how winnable that one was. Could have been also. So I can go Bowmaster, ping them, push the spawn, and get in for 1 damage. Let's maybe still just try to draw a second Bowmaster. Okay, nice. Finally. I guess actually I'm probably supposed to exile a Devourer and then scry draw. What do you think would be a decent option in the place of Graveyard Trespasser? There honestly isn't like a good answer to that question. One big thing about the modern format is there are just not that many good black creatures. There, your quantity of like playable black mid-range creatures is pretty low, and Trespasser is just kind of one of the few. I guess I could make them draw a card also. Hopefully this is a Null Drifter. Yeah, I mean Children's is not very good right now. Okay, this is a Null Drifter. Okay, so let's now make mana so we can dig the deepest for Bowmaster number 2. And then I think this is just gonna probably win us the game. Or there's a good chance this will win us the game if we find second Bowmaster. Oh, dang, we don't. I guess we could have also found another Kozilek's command for another like 5 looks. I guess we could still do that. Okay. Dothia, you can't play Dothia with this mana. Spy Master's Vault with K command. I don't know if we have enough swamps, but it's a good idea. Troll of Khazad-dûm for Emperor. I'm not a big troll fan, but you could. Is there only Outworld breaking their bridge? Well, they have a Karn also, right? Isn't K command better with some mana sinks? Yeah, we have mana sinks, other K commands. Listen, isn't K command better with K command is broken. The card is broken. You know what I mean? It's just the dumbest. Like, what the hell are they thinking with this card? But you just K command into another K command. We're undefeated with this deck at the moment too. It's kind of unfortunate. We only had 1 Bowmaster and 1 K command in like the top. This is like -7, so top 47 cards. Ooh, cracking that fetch. Talisman in the graveyard. I think I'm out of fetchables. K command is Kozilek or Kolagon. I mean, this is a black based mid range deck in modern, so of course it's Kolagon's command. I don't want to shuffle because I put a bunch of cards I don't like to the bottom. Aren't they dead? I don't believe that they're dead. There's a Ensnaring Bridge in play, and they have plenty of blockers. These have 0 power, not 1. Oh, with the Emperor Bones, yeah, Worldbreaker does not get that job done, unfortunately. We could, I guess what we could do is we could push our own Bowmaster and like get an extra trigger there if we like end up being 1 point short or something. Think you'd kill Sanctum? Yeah, maybe Sanctum's better. But the thing is, they didn't like I don't know what they're getting off of it. Oh, there's the card. They grab a Haywire Mites. Really? Am I dead? No, don't attack me with everything, please. No. Please don't do that. Okay, just the Emrakul. So right now there's 1 creature in a graveyard. Two. So they have 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4. They look to be dead on board. Oh, my I didn't realize my Trespasser is flipping back. It's actually gonna be closer than I thought. Oh, I also forgot I didn't see the Worldbreaker. I even looked. So that we missed a damage on the Trespasser. Still though, I think they look still pretty dead. Okay, we put them to 5. Remy with the 6 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, this actually pretty spicy. We trophied our first league with it too. And looks like we're gonna be up by a very long game. Block, 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 block. Yeah. Block here, and then they take 7. So missed a few damage. Here we have Meathook Massacre as Goblin Bombardment. I think it's very easy to see a long, boring game like this and start to have evil thoughts about Goblin Bombardment, Meathook Massacre, but I think I probably am not too interested in that. Play 1 Needle for Karn, 1 Shoot the Sheriff. All right, not so bad. Also, they have what, like 8 minutes on the clock? Why did they just rip bridge when it wasn't enough? I think that they were bored and they didn't realize they just could attack for lethal. But yeah, I think there was a degree of ensnaring bridge delirium there. Guess we mulligan. Still 11 matches going in the qualifier. We're 2-1. Yeah, we lost match number 2 with green white. I think we punted game 2. It was kind of a tricky game, but I definitely made the wrong decision on the birthing ritual that probably cost us game 2, and then we lost game 3 also. Green white is definitely a deck that rewards you if you're just getting like infinite reps off of it all the time, but I haven't been playing it as much. So we play this, so we have the option to K command next turn, I guess. I've been having great paper results with Bant, more control version of blue-white. We're what makes it more control, because I kind of feel like the green-white build is the best control deck in Modern. I don't think people look at green-white Birthing Ritual and think of it as a control deck, but in my mind, that's how I play it, and I think it definitely is. Is Boromir an addition for the Pyroclasm effects? Yeah, Kozilek's return. It's mostly that. You could play it against like Belcher, that kind of stuff too, if you wanted to. Would be fine. Some nice little extra text. Yeah, Breach also is pretty good against them. Does a lot. Like I feel like the Bant builds of Birthing Ritual are like, they're not as controlling, at least the ones I've seen. They're more like they just dirtle and they make a lot of value and then they lose is my general impression of those decks. The banned version is on Witness Ephemerate, but goes for Flare and Wrath the Skies. Okay, if you want to send a link, I'll take a look. Wrath the Skies and Birthing Ritual sounds completely unhinged, but if you could make it work, I'd love to see it. Okay, my opponent graveyards 2 K returns and puts a Stomping Ground into their hand. We could exile their K returns with the command next turn. Yeah, I am curious. Birthing Ritual, Wrath the Skies sounds like some lunacy. Also, yeah. Okay, this is not. You say the Bant version. For some reason you're not playing Birthing Ritual. That makes sense. That makes sense. Whenever I play these decks, I always try to like force Valahi Archaeologist Savine's Wreck into it, but maybe that's just not the way to be. Looks pretty cool. Main deck Orem's Chant Gamer. Also, like, I think maybe, I don't know if I've seen your list but the Attune with Aether seems so weird. Like, wanting like green mana turn 1 seems so weird in this kind of deck, but maybe it's okay. Attune is just so nuts. I swear to God, no one ever believes me though. I mean, I feel like playing it over the blue cantrip is weird. Because I feel like you even want blue mana early. I mean, Attune is... I've played enough Attunes to know that card's kind of good. Alright, I don't think the Emrakul is beatable here, so let's try to finish this match. So, is this our 4th or 3rd opponent in Eldrazi across the league in qualifier? I think it's our 6th. We've played 3 in the qualifier, and we've played... I think this is our 3rd against with Mono Black. We've only lost once to them, thankfully, but I think this is our 6th Eldrazi opponent today. I may be misremembering. You know what? No, I am. This is our 5th. I think this is only our second Eldrazi opponent as Mono Black. Okay, so the top card of the library is a Emrakul. Do I have to just take Rumble or sorry, Sprawl? Yeah, I think I just take the Sprawl, and then I can Bowmaster the Rumble token, and this is going to stop them from turn 3ing the spawn. The thing is, Attune occupies 3rd, 4th land slot, whereas Attune much less so. Yeah, sure. I believe you that it's been good. Gotta play the colorless land out for command. Although I guess we're kind of always playing Trespasser next turn. So they rumble into Temple, Emrakul, Utopia Sprawl. They choose Temple, so this is unfortunate as it means my opponent can Michael spawn me next turn. Even if I drew like a Break the Ice, they could. They didn't sack the spawn to deny the card here, which is good. Yeah, I think we're going to take the Michael spawn. Mr. Obama, happy 34 months. Aren't you supposed to be at the inauguration today? Thank you for 34. Can't you Vista for waste, or is it not a basic? I can, yeah. I don't know what I said that made you think that that wasn't something on my radar, but yeah, that is on my radar here. Interesting main phase. What if I just had a second Bowmaster here? Yeah, we're playing waste in the deck. Just one. So they still have Emrakul. They've played the Cavern. They still have the Stomping Ground. They played the K command. So now if we draw a Emperor of Bones, it's lethal with the Emrakul, despite getting back Null Drifter being really fun. We would just throw Emrakul at our opponent. So I'm going to try to leave Emrakul in the yard for Mr. Bones. Sacking the second field means I can't cast a top decked Kozilek's command, so we'll try not to do that. Why play outfield instead of deck thinning? I think it's typically I'd want to save the fetch land for Bauble Scries. And I also want to set myself up to be able to cast a Kozilek's command. Well, if I overload Break the Ice, I kill more of my lands than my opponent's. Let's exile Null Drifter and Karn. This way we can keep Emperor of Bones as a lethal top deck. Doesn't field also thin if you choose to? Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to use the field because I want to be able to cast Kozilek's command again. Also, like, if they exile your graveyard, like a Vista, like, can refill for Nethergoyf. I don't know. There's like, I think enough utility with the fetch land that I tend to not like thin too aggressively, but it's you could thin here. It's fine. Overlord is you don't control. No, it's not. Or sorry, so it's Overload is just each that could target. So overloading Break the Ice does kill your own lands. I think that you're confusing it because of Mizian Mortars and Winds of Abandon say on those cards you don't control. But that's only because Overlord just makes every target hit. Yeah, cut the Deadlands for the Vista package, which I think is correct. Top card is a Wall of Roots. Okay, let's take the Innkeeper. This stink that we can't use Emperor to like exile the Undying creatures. So my opponent's hand is Vernon Catacombs, double Strangleroot Geist. So I think in order for the Thoughtseize to be live, I need to go shoot the sheriff here. Okay, they graveyard an Overgrown Tomb. And they cast one of the two Geist. Their hand is Geist, Verdant Catacombs. And then drawing an untapped black source would be good so that we could play Emperor plus Thoughtseize. If we don't, we'll just we'll field and we can unlock our hands a little bit. The Cling is good to kind of more cleanly answer one of these Undying creatures. Do you ever hold Inquisition there to play Fatal Push on the wall next turn so you're in a better spot to play Emperor? I'm too scared of Agatha's Soul Cauldron not to cast Inquisition in that spot. It's left with just a Verdant Catacombs. Can get the formidable Dryad Arbor. Hopefully they don't top deck a Yawgmoth. That would be bad. They do top deck Birthing Ritual, which is also bad. Maybe a little late on that. So I think we just play this and hold up our mana. Although actually, Emperor, Innkeeper, Treasure Push. Okay, I don't know where you're getting treasure from. Oh, Emperor, the Innkeeper. To get Revolt for Fatal Push. No, wait. Sorry, I guess I'm just like, oh, look at this bug. I swear I had Kozilek's command in my hand. I think for some reason my brain saw the temple and broke for a second and thought I had the K command. Here instead we're going to try to cling to dust the young wolf, but sorry, my brain did just break for a second. Normal stuff. So we're opponent to make the first move here. Ideas get Innkeeper to turn Revolt to kill Endurance or whatever you want. Yeah, I think that may have ended up being the better line. Okay, so they get a second Young Wolf, which is pretty shitty for me. Alright, we're not beating Quarter Calling here. Down a game against Yogg. So we have 3 needles in the board for this matchup for Breach and for Belcher also. So I'm gonna bring in all 3. You can name Grist, Cauldron, Yawgmoth. I think the needles are pretty good at the moment. I'm gonna bring in the Toxic Deluges also. I played this matchup yesterday. I wasn't sure how many Bowmasters to leave in. I ended up trimming 1, I think, where it's awkward the Deluges. It's better now that it kills Dryad Arbor. That's pretty relevant. Kills opposing Bowmasters. It isn't great against Yogg itself, but sometimes gets a little bit of value. I think I cut the Emperor of Bones. I wasn't a big fan of him that game either. I think I cut an Inquisition and cut a Bauble. And felt okay about it. So let's try this. I have no recommendations for food in Grapevine. I haven't been on that side of town that often, but for the most part, I don't think the food over there is very good. If you can get over like near Inquisition. Once you get closer to like Irving, the food gets better. I'm blanking on the name of like this. There's this like Asian square that's like phenomenal. Everything there is so good. Yawgmoth Thran Physician will be nice today. Do we miss a good Shelly here? Maybe in this specific matchup, you could miss Shieldred, but Shieldred much worse now that Ring is banned. Oh yeah, Papado's good. I've only been there like once, but I have some friends who worked there for a long time. Card on top. I would have found a Bowmaster here. I guess I should have played the Demolition Field too. They're on this, not playing super tight. We do get to Thoughtseize the Decay, which is kind of nice. Maybe there's something better, but probably the Decay is to keep the needle in play. Their own Shieldred. Okay, we can Thoughtseize that, thankfully. So it is Beseiju Shieldred. You know, they can obviously besage the needle, but with, you know, K command in their hand, and it's not so bad. Take the 2-for-1. So now I think we have to assume. I guess they might not besage you end of turn because they won't have the 4th mana. I think we still take the Shieldred. Like, Yogg isn't the scariest on this board, and if I take the Shieldred, they may besage me here. And this would let me K command for 1 to dig for an answer for the Yogg. Although that K command for 1 does like give them. It does give them an extra token to sack to Yogg, which is a problem. Yeah, I think we're still looking. We're just gonna scry draw here. You can draw Eldrazi Temple, Fatal Push, go for the throw, or sorry, shoot the Sheriff, Pithing Needle. I think that's just enough cards here to go for it. Oh, Toxic Deluge also. So they correctly target me. So they'll be able to draw 3 cards in response to the Deluge, and then we keep playing Magic the Gathering. I think I'm actually just going to escape Nethergoyf instead of holding up the command. Exiling a command, a Thoughtseize, and a Needle, and then the next command will make the Nethergoyf a pretty real threat. And then also I could Kozilek's command a Yawgmoth if they just like cast a Yawgmoth next turn, which would be pretty nice. Weird game. Plays Verdant Catacombs, 3 other cards in their hand. Cast a Marionette Apprentice to start. Maybe Birthing Ritual. That would be bad. Okay, thankfully just Stranglerootgeist so far. Taking 2. Our life total is pretty low, Spider-Man. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to Thoughtseize and then try to bait the same attack, but this time we K command the Apprentice and block the Stranglerootgeist. We get to scry 3, draw 1. Hopefully set up for like a powerful double spell next turn. They do go for second Surveilland instead of Dryad Arbor. Kind of hope they would go for the Arbor. They might not be playing Green Sun Zenith in this build, though. There's an Ignoble Hierarch, so they probably have Green Sun Zenith. They probably have Arbor, even if they don't have Zenith, I guess. Haywire Might. Okay, that doesn't seem to do anything, which is good. Okay, great. Now I can exile the Geist and then block the Apprentice. Okay, scry X draw, exile creature. And what are we looking for? Another K command. Playing Zenith and Ritual feels illegal. Yeah. Okay, I can only cast 1 of these next turn. I think I'm only going to keep 1. Okay, so let's field so that our Nethergoyf is bigger. They should have plenty of basics left, though. Getting to exile the Yawgmoth is also nice because of Cauldron. A good game. Yeah, no cards in their hand. I've got no cards in my hand. If they just brick and we flip the Trespasser, we're like pressuring their life total to so much that like a top deck Yogg is no longer good. And this is of course a big part of like what you're trying to do in this matchup is make it to where they can't just top deck a Yogg or a Cord and get out of it. They did draw a Cord, and so we are kind of like a turn too short for that. Although I think if I was in their spot, what I would probably have done instead of this is blocked both of my creatures and then corded. The problem is I guess that flips the Trespasser, but getting to block both, like sack both, I feel like that sounds pretty good. So yeah, gain 2, -1 counter on the Nethergoyf. Did I consider Overlord the Shell? I did. I think it's just not very good without like Hexmage or Felia. You can't really play either of those. So we can get in for 2. Drain for 1, and then drain for another one with the Trespasser we drew anyways. They flip, they're not human anymore. I guess I target the Hierarch because that's the only creature with an activated ability right now. But if they Takenuma me, if they second Takenuma me, I'll eat those words or I'll regret this play. Yeah, we 2/2 drop from the challenge. Okay, a Strangler Geist. They're at 8 life. The Innkeeper's dead. Apprentice is dead. They may not have Blood Artist. They may just be on like 1 Innkeeper. Hard to like really know or whatever, but it's possible. Not necessarily likely, I guess. Don't want to crack the Demolition Field because I want Fatal Push to be an out to the Yogg. Four cards in their hand. Verdant Catacombs. Not gonna lie, this deck makes sense and it's insane it hasn't happened yet. Those are your best brew ideas when you have the idea, when you have the thought, why hasn't anyone done this? Those are the best brew ideas. I'm gonna be trying to work on some more like Fair, Kozilek's Command Shells. Proliferate does not target. Now they're at 5. They're effectively at 3. They can kill my Trespassers on blocks though. Okay, I kind of love this attack for us, although I guess they can like reset the Geist. Do I block the Geist? Yeah, I kind of like blocking the Geist. The Geist offers them like a lot of cards, and like I think their idea behind attacking is that well, I guess the problem with this is they can just put a -1 counter on it with the Bowmaster. Oh, no, but then the Geist still dies. No, I think I like this block because like they basically get to block the Trespasser, so I think making this trade is something I want to do. Some good top decks. Not one of them. Okay, my options are to pass, to flip Graveyard Trespasser, or to escape Nethergoyf. If I escape Nethergoyf, I would get rid of Sorcery, Kozilek's Command, Land, I guess, and then the Goyf would be a 2/3. That doesn't seem like it's doing it enough, so I think let's go ahead and pass and flip the Trespasser, then maybe my opponent won't feel like they can do much into a flip Trespasser, attacks through the Yawgmoth. Although there is the flip side of this, no pun intended, that my opponent can. There's a good chance my opponent can just reflip. Am I dead to this? Sack, they go to 4. They deal me 2 to 3. Sack, they go to 3. Reset. Sack, I go to 1. They go to 2. Hallelujah, it's raining punts. Let's go! We caught it! Right there. We caught it. Not a human anymore. Let's fucking go. Into the Tundra, 18 months. Enter the Puntra. My opponent is fetching down to 2 life points. And then they're spending 4 mana in their damage step. They're floundering. I think that they're trying to cast another Yawgmoth here. Okay, now they're targeting the Trespasser. They have to discard a card to do this. That shouldn't be a problem. My opponent says, "What am I doing?" Yeah, this is honestly, I also have a series of cascading punts like this all the time. It's not something that used to happen to me, but it's happening more and more lately. Oh well, nothing you can do but brush it off and move on. Yeah, it's weird for it to be my opponent that is doing this. So, a nice refreshing thing. How do you feel about the Boros Monumental Hinge control deck you played a few weeks ago? In the meta is no... Yeah, I think that deck without Ring just doesn't really work. You don't have enough Hinge targets. Quick protein break. Great hand. Bolt hand. We have a castable K command and a needle. Easy keep. Easy keep. Whoa, Hapatra was not my expected follow-up. I'm still just gonna go Thoughtseize the Cord, and then Needle Yawgmoth, and then Deluge next turn. Okay, their hand is 2 Apprentice Marionettes. They do keep a card on top. I'm going to main phase this because of Eldritch Evolution. Hard to say no to those. Hide the Deluge from a possible Thoughtseize. So down to 7. I guess we should have left the push up. Not the biggest deal, probably. Don't know any cards in their hand anymore. The top card of my library is another Fatal Push, which is not something we have to draw here, but probably be happy enough to draw. The last card's probably Court of Calling with this pause. So we definitely don't want to like upkeep Field because then they can Court for 2. I think we had a Field into Deluge here. Well, I'm like really into holding Field in this matchup for Surveil lands, for Revolt, for Dryad Arbor. I don't really like to like super proactively Field. They're paying costs. This video is super blown out with the windows and an open view. I don't know what you mean by blown out, but I can move the camera a little bit. Oh, this is main phase Chord for Strangler, guys. Could this deck not run Urza Sagas? They're actually a good land that produces colorless. I would disagree that Urza Saga is better than any colorless land in our deck. But I would agree that it produces colorless. Maybe I should have channeled Takenuma first, because if I milled over Cling, I would just take 2. Milled over nothing. I will say that I basically never liked playing Urza Saga in a deck like this. Like when Saga is just like, I'm gonna make 2/3/3s and get an Urza's Bauble. I have a I have never been like, yeah, brother, sign me up. Maybe I'm just like putting myself too cold to grist if I just keep shoot the sheriff. Not sure. Nice to get to bottom a lot of dead draws here. There's another chord. So get punished for commanding and not pushing. We'll be okay with needle on the sideboard. I think that that's true. It gets a little bit better with some needles on the sideboard, but the field plan is also, I think, really good at the moment. I guess I should play this out. Looking a little threat like, yeah, I bored out on some threats in this matchup. You kind of pivot into a more controlling deck. They bricked. They're at 20 life. 5/6 Goyfs. Remember, Yawgmoth still needled. Pretty relevant. Yeah, we did trophy with this earlier. We are 6-0 at the moment with it. I think you should proactively field Yavimaya to make tapping easier. Well, in this game where I bottomed a lot of bricks with the Kozilek's command, I really don't want to do that, but I hear you. Yeah, I mean they could shield rid, so I think I probably don't push. Do you want a matcha? Yeah, that'd be great, Esther. Saga is really good with Goyfs. Saga has some synergy with Goyfs. I agree. Saga has some synergy with Goyf. So let's field now so we can try to flip the Trespasser. And I want to push the Yawgmoth instead of the Geist. Yeah, I just in general think that Urza Saga is not a good card in decks like this. Yeah, it's probably better to bluff that I have something here. Opponent takes 5 down to 14. We flip the Trespasser. They're top decking. We've got Needle on Yawgmoth. They draw another Yawg. They draw Shieldred. Shieldred would be bad. They're retapping. Looks like Drolf's Messenger. No. It was another Yawg. My life total 6. I think I'm going to not crack this Prismatic Vista. Yeah, we 2-2'd the qualifier. Had some very close matches. I think we could have played differently in our losses to maybe win. Definitely one of the matches. Gonna definitely bobble myself with me having access to shuffles here. So I'm gonna field them on their upkeep so that I could have Revolt for Fatal Push available. I guess I already would have it available, huh? No coffers. Yeah, I thought I was gonna want to play coffers in this deck so you could make some gigantic Kozilek's commands, and it's possible, I suppose, that we could still build the deck that way. The problem, there seems to be a problem that arises, however, in building the deck that way, where you just don't have enough colorless lands. Like, if you want to play like 5 basics, which is even kind of low, 4 field, 4 Eldrazi Temple, 4 Urborg, 4 coffers, you kind of just don't have enough colorless sources for Kozilek's command. That being said, maybe if you profane tutor for Eldrazi Temple, if you count that as a source, maybe it's okay. But that's my current issue with that build. So there are only 2 creatures in graveyards here, so I'm not slow rolling by not casting the Trespasser first. Getting some familiar Magic Online lag. Did I target the things? It says 2 remaining. I guess. Okay, it looks like it targeted. Maybe Amulet Titans to splash for K command. Maybe. Card is really, really broken. It is really, really broken. We pray for the day Arena has modern. Yeah, maybe. Okay. GG. Certainly caught a huge punt from our opponent last game. They're not so familiar with playing around Trespasser. Trespasser is good, dude. Why is Trespasser so good right now? It seems so slow. I think when it's like at the top of your curve like this, it tends to really shine. Where, kind of simply put, it's just like always a 2-for-1. You know, like they have to like use a card to kill it most of the time. Graveyard hate is really relevant. The incidental life gain is good. It just, I don't know, it just does a lot. Am I close enough to Pioneer to have any recommendations for next week's Explore event? I have not played Pioneer in over a year. So no. I think I am down to draw the Temple here. Although actually, yeah, I probably should have bobbled just again on my turn to have the upside of drawing Fatal Push, but it's okay. We cast an Emery. They hit a bunch of artifacts too. We wouldn't have drawn the push at least, so that's something. I think I'm just gonna main phase this. We could make a spawn to K command the Emery next turn. I don't think I like that plan so much. I think it's just scrying and drawing seems better. We could keep this to like keep them off the Emery for a bit. I think I'm just gonna bottom that though. Kind of close. Could this deck play white black to be on Fellies and Overlords as threats? It seems to be that playing the colorless requirements for return and also playing black white would be pretty tough, but I would say it's probably not impossible. Okay, backup Emery, Bauble, Amber. They choose Amber. This lets them make a Saga token. Second Temple is enough to kick command Emery. Oh, right. Sorry. Duh. Do you really need Cling to Dusk? Okay, command cantrips. And you have plenty of graveyard hate with Trespasser command. I mean, the first Cling to Dust is just so good, you know? Like, it's like a card that has just, like, no problems, almost. Wait. Sorry, we had that conversation. I thought I just had the second K command. This is the second time I've done that. I just thought I had it in my hand again. Sorry about that. Well, that time the chatter said I could do it, and then I thought I could do it. One thing I like about multiple needles in this matchup is they can name Emery Saga Haywire Might in addition to Grinding Station. And we get to kind of passively pressure their graveyard too. Yeah, the hallucinations are back. I'm not thrilled about that. Shoot the Sheriff is a good way to kill Emery early. I think we want to keep in all of our discard effects. But yeah, it's just 1 mana cantripper that like is late game card advantage. It's just like the first copy is just so good to play. I think you should play it. 3 needles, ... Maybe you just want to exercise Damping Matrix instead. Well, the needles are also like really good against Belcher and Yogg, and I don't know, Matrix is 3 mana, which is tough. So I'm gonna side like this. big. Let's go to 6. Okay, not a great 6, but I think we keep. Yeah, Matrix is better against Yogg, that's true. Do we feel like Matrix is better in this matchup? It could be. Yeah, actually just is, right? It turns off. Yeah, maybe Matrix is just sick in this kind of matchup. It's also not bad against Belcher, just 3 mana is kind of a lot. Is Emperor that much better used as constant graveyard pressure and occasionally randoming something rather than trying to turbo something out like Archon? Yeah, I guess I don't understand how you're equating these two things. Like, the difference between... Like, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is Emperor that much better used as constant graveyard pressure and occasionally randoming something better something rather than just trying to turbo something out like Archon? So this is not like an Emperor of Bones deck in the sense that like our deck is just built around Emperor of Bones and like we're okay. They graveyarded Saga here. Interesting. Like our deck is not like, you know, the Emperor Bones is kind of like the last card in the deck. It's just another good proactive threat that lines up well against the format. It's versatile. It's powerful. It's a card that I'm pretty happy to play. Okay, they mill over just lands here. But like to say like, is it better than just turboing out an Archon? Like you're just comparing apples to oranges. Like these are just very different deck ideas. What we're talking about at that point. Probably want to find something more proactive. You know what I mean? It's like to turbo out. You can't even like really play mono black, or it's so tough. Like mono black Emperor of Bones is like Crypt of Agadim with like Stitcher Supplier and Overlord. This is just like probably 40, 50, 60 cards different from what we're playing right now. So just kind of like a weird comparison to make, I guess. Oh wait, hold on. They might not have another basic. I'm gonna field them in their upkeep or their draw step. Like there's no way to build this Kozilek's command deck idea, which is what we're building around, as a Archon deck, I think. And this, we're also use 7 with this idea. Can do both. Archon is more powerful, more costly deck construction. I'm saying to build this deck as an Archon deck. Like, what are we talking about? It's just like, it's just so different. Yeah, I do think Overlord would be neat. I mean, Overlord's good. I don't know. You could build that style of deck if you wanted to, if you felt like it. K command finds and casts Archon. I mean, yes, K command's very broken, I know. They keep 1 on top, 1 on bottom. We are flooded. What happened to the room with the yellow walls? Oh, I'm downstairs for now. I'm downstairs for now. I was gonna make a California wildfires joke, but thankfully I have enough of a filter to realize that's probably in poor taste still. I just been as a card, not in this deck. Yeah, well, it is more powerful to reanimate Archon than to not. Right? Oh, yes. Uh-oh. Do they have so many more lands in their hand? Am I repainting the yellow walls? They're orange, aren't they? It's been so long since I've been in that room. I'm gonna switch rooms because it gets really hot in that room in the summer. That's kind of the main reason to switch. Is that the last 2 summers have been really miserable in there. I'm gonna switch to the guest room and the and that room. I think that's cool. Yeah, we painted this room. This is the only room we've painted so far. But I'm gonna repaint the walls upstairs, both the guest room and the which will be the new stream room, and then the stream room will be repainted and will be the new guest room. I made your Beseech Lantern deck legacy playable and won my first match. Let's go, dude. It's kind of sick. Guess we're hoping they just get a Bauble. Ramping into Archon with the command doesn't look like a good plan. Yeah, I kind of agree. How good is Bowmaster after ban? Bowmaster's playable. I think it's not. It's much worse card than it was. A card that I'm still happy enough to put in decks sometimes. What do we look at the top deck? Kozilek's Command, of course. Kozilek's Command, of course. Got so flooded this game. A prelim is a 4-round qualifier event for QP points to play in events like today, and a challenge is just like an open tournament anybody can play in for like low-ish stakes, some like just Magic Online currency. Okay, we've drawn like 3 spells this game. It's kind of crazy. Another land. Let's see if this land turns into a spell. What made Bowmaster worse? The ring was banned. The ring was banned. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna get Tomio back and chump one of these with the Bowmaster. The Tomio gives me an extra card, which is nice. I don't think I've ever Emperor of Bones to Tomio. Achievement unlocked. Oh wait, are they gonna Nature's Claim my Clue token? they might. Should they? Probably, actually. I do get to gain 4 life. Could you transform Tomio, keep it? I think that the flip planeswalkers go back to their owner's control. I think they do that. Okay, I am going to go eat lunch. We trophied with this deck today. Pretty cool. 7-1. Pretty good record overall. I want to try playing Kozilek's Command in a couple more fair shells this week. That might be Coffers. That might be Blue-White Control. That might be Mono-White Field of Ruin. But kind of excited about this idea. And it's been performing well in our initial testing. Too bad about the Super Qualifier. If I can play more challenges this week, I want to try doing that also. In general, like with the RCs coming up, even though I'm not going to them, I want to give y'all like lots of good tournament content. I also really want to replay that